Welcome to ProgrammingKT. Today in this tutorial I am trying to explaining about abstraction. In last video I already explained about encapsulation. So if you did not watch that video you will get full clarity on encapsulation. So encapsulation is nothing but data members and member functions wrap in one entity is nothing but encapsulation. So data members are variables and member functions are methods. Wrap in a class is called encapsulation. Along with encapsulation I explained about access modifiers like public, private, protected, default, these kind of access modifiers, and moreover that constructor. What is constructor? What is the use of constructor? What are the access modifiers applicable for constructor? When constructor will be executed? This kind of information I already explained. If you did not watch that video, watch that video. So let me start with abstraction in this video. So abstraction. So abstraction is nothing but showing the functionality, hiding the implementation. Enough. Don't by heart paragraph and paragraphs of definition. So abstraction is nothing but showing the functionality and hiding the implementation. So this is about abstraction, showing the functionality and hiding the implementation. So functionality is nothing but specification. So if you want to implement save user, just declare that name with abstract method save user. Then how to save user, we can do it in implementation part. So at the time of saving, some validations are required. I mean duplicates are not required. I mean duplicate, if the name is duplicate we can't save. And moreover that we need to encrypt the password. This kind of, I mean, stuff we can do in implementation part. But in functionality wise, just we can show how to save user, that's enough. So showing the functionality and hiding the implementation. So abstraction we can achieve in Java by using interfaces or by using abstract classes. So let me start with interface. Interface. So what is interface? Interface is a blueprint of class. Blueprint means, I mean, exactly similar to class only. Blueprint of a class. So interface contains only abstract methods and moreover that public, static, final variables. But class contains any type of variable and any type of method. So that is the one point you need to remember. What is the difference between interface and class? So class may contain private, public, protected variables and corresponding public, private, protected methods also. But interface have only public and abstract methods, and interface variables are by default public, static, final. So anyway from 1.8 onwards, I mean JDK 1.8 onwards, we can create a default static private methods as well. So but remember, I mean interface have only abstract methods. So anyway this is the beginning, right? So once you have proper knowledge on interface, I mean abstraction, then you can start with, I mean creating default methods and creating static methods, private methods, this kind of thing. So interface is blueprint of a class, contains only public and abstract methods along with public, static, final variables. Next let me try to, I mean discuss about what is abstract method. So abstract methods. So what is abstract method? So abstract method don't have body. Abstract method ends with a semicolon. Abstract methods we can create by using abstract keyword. These are the 3 points you need to remember when you are talking about. I mean, if someone will ask also, you can say same answers like abstract method don't have body. This is the first point. Don't have body. Abstract methods don't have body, ends with semicolon, and by using abstract keyword we can create abstract method. Abstract keyword. These are the 3 points you need to remember when we are talking about abstract method. So let me try to write an example for abstract method and a normal method, then compare it. Now let me try to write an example for normal method and corresponding abstract method. So imagine I'm trying to create one method called method return type is string and method name is get name. So this is normal method that exists inside, I mean, normal class. We can return from, I mean, some logic, either it may be you have, depending on your logic you can return it, any logic you can perform here. Return some name. I am writing some high level syntax. So, but there is no, if you will get compilation of this kind of stuff, so don't consider. So, I am explaining, my intention is to show the difference between normal method and abstract method. This is the normal method, get name is the normal method that exists some XYZ class. So, this is the, I mean syntax, or what you can consider actual method as well. So, get name is the method that will return string. This method is having body. Now let me try to write corresponding abstract method. So think about these three methods. Abstract method don't have body. So what is the method? String. Method name is get name, and open brace, closed brace. Abstract method ends with semicolon. And we can use abstract keyword. So abstract. So this is the abstract method, normal method, and corresponding abstract method. So this is the normal method, this is the abstract method. Now we got the clarity. What is abstract method? Abstract method don't have body. Here this method is don't have body, right? But here the normal method have body. Ends with semicolon. Abstract method is ending with semicolon. By using abstract keyword, we can create abstract method. Here normal method don't have abstract method. So if we can provide normal method to abstract, we will get compilation error. So this is about interface, and inside that interface, some information about abstract method. Now let me try to provide some real world example. Like, so when you are trying to write your BSc or SSC, MCA, this kind of exams, so in exam hall you will get some question paper, right? So what does that question paper contains? All questions, but not answers, right? So you need to write your own answers for corresponding questions. That is the best example for abstraction. So in Java also we can specify like questions. So imagine if you are trying to save the user info and updating the user info and deleting the user info and getting the user info, these kind of some operations you are trying to implement in some XYZ project. In that case, all these operations you can declare inside interface, but how to do that? You can declare inside implementation. Now let me try to write some syntax about that. That real world scenario. I mean, if you are trying to save the user info and updating, deleting this kind of stuff, then how to, we can show in implementation. So let me try to write some, one interface here. So interface, we can create interface by using interface keyword. Interface name is user service. U is capital. Whatever rules applicable for class, same rules applicable for interface name also. Start every letter, every word first letter is caps, to uppercase. Every word first letter is uppercase. User service. So inside that user service, I will write methods, abstract methods like save user, update user, delete user, get user. These are nothing but specifications. These specifications we can do it in implementation. So specifications are nothing but what is my requirement, all requirement I will declare inside this interface. Like, so save user methods, how it will, naming conventions I already covered, right? So every method must and should start with lowercase. So abstract methods, rules for applicable whatever methods, same rules applicable for abstract methods also. So save user is next word, right? That's why u is capital. Save user, I am trying to pass user object user, and variable name is user. This is abstract method. So you can provide your return type also. So if you want to user, you can return user as well, this user object. Or else you can, if you want to return some meaningful information like user saved successfully, you can declare return type is string. Depending on your requirement, you can provide that method return type. And method name is once, inside that interface, abstract methods are by default public and abstract. Even though if you did not declare public and abstract, by default these methods are public and abstract. So if you can write, no problem. If you can ignore, that is also perfectly valid. Compiler will provide public and abstract. Next, save user, get user. So user, u is capital, I am trying to get the user. So get user, u capital, get user, I will pass user id, integer uid, user id. By using this user id, I will get the, user object. So at the time of getting, if I can pass, 99 user, user id is 99. So in database that does not exist user id with 99, so we need to throw some exception, right? So that how we need to throw exception, how we need to check whether user exists or not, we can do it in implementation part. This is called specification. Same, get user, delete user also. String delete user, you can pass user id to delete corresponding user. User id. And save update also. So if you want to, once you updated, you want to return same user object, then method return type is user. So update user, pass whole user object. If you want to update your first name, your date of birth, these kind of stuff we can update, right? So in that case we need to pass user object with updated fields along with id. So without id, we need to check at the time of updating, first user object contains id or not. If id does not exist, we will throw id is required to update user object. And moreover that, once all required, again we need to check validations. At the time of saving, first we need to check, password is strong or not, username contains any special characters, user is duplicate user or not. These kind of validations we will do it at implementation. Again updation time also we will do check, validations. All rules are satisfied, then only we can save in, either it may be save first time or second time update also, we can do it, perform corresponding update operation in database, either update or save. So this is nothing but specifications. Here I am trying to showing you high level, saving user, getting user, delete user, update user, high level. But how to save, how to get, how to delete, we can implement it in, implementation part. So this is the interface contains only abstract methods. These abstract method we can implement in classes. Now let me try to write class for this interface. So class name is user service, right? I am trying to provide class name is user service impl, user service impl. This is the class name. Then next I am trying to use implements keyword. This is the one point you need to remember. Interface contains abstract method. This abstract method I am trying to implement by using implements. Implement is the keyword. Implements corresponding interface name. What is the interface name? User service. User service. Now I need to implement. Now we will get, if did not implement all this method, I will get compilation error here. I will show you when I am writing the code on sts4. Now I need to implement this method. So like string save user and corresponding user object I need to pass, right? For saving user variable name can write properly. User variable, I mean local variable. Then this is the abstract method. This abstract method implementation is there in user service impl. Like this remaining, I mean this say get user, delete user, update user, I will show you on sts4 when I'm writing the code. Now this is inside this save user, I will perform user is duplicate user or not. I mean user name is does not contain any special characters or not, password is strong or not, and moreover that, and we can encrypt the password. Plain password we can't save in database, right? So we can encrypt it. All these operations are done, then only can return some message, final message, user saved successfully, something message you can pass. Any rule is does not match, I mean not satisfied, we will throw exception, some xyz reason. Same for remaining methods as well. Now I hope you got full clarity what is interface, and what is abstraction, what is abstract method, and what is specification, what is implementation. Showing the functionality, hiding the implementation, this is the functionality, right? Showing the functionality, save user, get user, this is the functionalities I am trying to show, but its implementation I am trying to hide. That implementation will be there in some other class. So this is about abstraction in Java. Anyway, abstract class is still pending. I mean, interface I explained, I covered. So now let me try to write example in STS4. Now let me try to explain about abstraction with interface after writing some code. So for this, I already created one package called oops.abstraction. So along with a class abstraction example. Let me create one interface and corresponding with some entity class, then interface implemented class also. Now let me try to create first entity. So I'm trying to provide name is user, class name is user, and I'm trying to provide some attributes, I mean variables. So all variables most of the time will be private int user id, private string username, private, I can say id, name, password, user pwd. Let me try to copy and paste, string email, user email, and one more is phone number, user phone number. So any n number of attributes depending on your interest you can create it, no problem. So I am creating default constructor, parameterized constructor, setters, getters, and toString also with shortcut keys. So for creating constructors, I mean either it may parameterized constructor or default constructor, alt shift s o, and select all, it is already selected, generate it. This is parameterized constructor, alt shift s o, deselect all, this is default, I mean default constructor, parameterized constructor. Now let me try to create setters and getters, alt shift s r, this is the, I mean shortcut key for alt shift s r, and select all. So all setters and getters corresponding attributes will be created. Now to string also if you want, alt shift s generated to string also. So if you remember the shortcut keys, most of the time your time will be saved. So now my entity class is ready. Now let me try to create one interface. So interface name is user service. So whatever rules applicable for class name, same for interface name also. User service. So every word first letter is uppercase. User service. So this is the, I mean, specification about user service. I mean, what are the operations if you are trying to apply. So I'm trying to provide, I mean, trying to create method name like first it will be save user. So it is expecting user object. So this is the recently we created, right? So that user object, that method is expecting as a parameter user. Now we need to provide some method return type. So depending on your requirement, you can return it. So I'm trying to provide some meaningful name. So even though if we can provide public abstract, this is also perfectly valid. See here, I am not getting any compilation error. Let me try to align properly. So I'm not getting any compilation error. Moreover that even though I can remove this also, this is also perfectly valid. Why? Because interface methods, I mean abstract methods, are by default public and abstract. Even though if you did not write, those methods are public and abstract. Now let me try to create remaining methods as well. Save user. Next, update user. So once it is updated, I'm trying to provide some meaningful message. Again, return type is string. So update user. Again, I am trying to expect user object with id user. So anyway, I did not connect it to database. By my intention is to show you what is specification, what is implementation. So interface is nothing but, right, I mean, showing the functionality, hiding the implementation. So functionality is, I mean, inside this interface method, save, update, delete, get. Next one is get string user. Now get method, for the get method I am trying to provide user object itself. So get user. So for this I am trying to expect user id. Finally delete user. Deleted successfully message, right? That's why I'm trying to provide return type, method return type is string delete user. This one also I'm trying to expect user id. So when you are working with a real time project, I mean I'm trying to explain a I mean real time project scenario here. I'm trying to consider not any some method a, method, I mean method 1, method 2, xyz variable, this kind of stuff I did not use it. Everything this is a real world concept. When you are trying to work with real time projects, this is the naming convention we need to follow. In case of user, it may be some xyz survey and following service. So all corresponding operations you can I mean specify here, and corresponding class you can implement. Now I am trying to implement user service impl. I am trying to create one class called user service impl. Now this class implements that user service interface, user service. So once I hit on enter, I will get compilation error. Let me show you on class level. So what it is saying, implement unimplemented methods. Service MPL must implement the inherit abstract, I mean all abstract methods. Interface have all abstract methods, right? Once I implement that interface, I need to implement all these abstract methods. So just click mouse over there and click on unimplemented methods. So with the default, I mean implementation, some skeleton of body it will provide, I mean IDE will provide by default. So this is about implementation. So this is about specification. Now let me try to write some logic. So saving user. So saving is nothing but, I mean first we need to check, right, user object is null or not. Let me try to provide some default string. So first we need to check, anyway I'm not connecting to database, right? Some random I will validations I will provide, I will return some message. So first I will check, I mean user is not null, then only I can proceed. Otherwise, I mean some meaningful message. So user object is empty, or else some I will throw some message, I mean some exception. So user object must not be null, something like that. Now let me try to provide default. So if user object is not null, then encrypt the password, validate, apply validations, and do some performance. I mean, any kind of requirement you can check. You can check. Then make a DB call. So for now, I don't have any database, right? For that, what I am trying to do, I am trying to declare one. I mean list. So list of users I am trying to store. So user is from my package only. Otherwise, you will get, I mean some, I mean compilation error if we did not import proper, I mean user class, user that exists inside abstraction package only. So I can call it as a users new array list. So instead of database, I am trying to save inside this list only. So imagine I can declare like perform all validations here. Once validations are done, then save into database. So here I don't have any database, right? Instead of that, I am trying to add into a list user object. Once it is added, I am trying to provide return message like user saved successfully. So this is about first method. So this null check, I mean user object is not null, and moreover that performing validations and encrypting the password. Anyway, here I don't have, right? Like that I am trying to provide some information. I mean encrypting, performing validations, this kind of thing. All these are done, then only save into DB. Anyway, I don't have a database, right? I'm trying to do collection and return the message successfully. If the user object is null, we can throw message also instead of returning, we can, let me, your object is null, throw runtime exception. So with meaning user object is null, something like that. We can throw some meaningful mean exception with name. Throw new runtime exception. So this is perfectly valid now. So if the user object is null, I mean not null, then only we can do perform, I mean some operation, validations, encrypting, this kind of stuff. I mean user is duplicate or not. I mean unique user or not. This kind of stuff we can perform validations, then save it. If the user object is null, throw this object exception. User object is null. Let me try to implement for remaining methods as well, like update user, get user, delete user also. So save is done, right? So update user. So for updating user, user will come with ID. At the time of saving there is no ID, but at the time of updating ID is required. So first we need to check user exists or not inside DB. Here in this case, collection users, users dot, I am trying to apply streams, user dot stream dot filter, one of the intermediate operation. So for that user object, I am trying to get user ID. I am comparing with user ID, I mean user ID in collection and user ID from, I mean whatever coming from input, right? Dot get user ID. So if the user is exist, then I am trying to get it, find first. Now let me try to assign to a variable. So it is returning optional of user. So first I need to check user, if the optional is not empty, is present, some methods will be there. Let me try to implement that. You can say here optional user. So dot is present or is empty, and depending on your requirement you can do it, no problem. So I'm trying to apply is empty, or else is empty I need to apply is present. So if I can apply is empty, I need to check not empty, something like that. Depending on your logic you can use any one of that. So is present I am trying to apply, I mean if the object exists inside this optional container, what I am trying to do, I am trying to update. So I am trying to update just only one property, like I can update username, user phone number, or user phone number. Let me update user phone number. So optional user, right? Optional user dot set use optional user dot, first I need to apply get, then I will update. Will get you can provide saved user. So for this user object I am trying to apply set user phone number, some, I mean whatever it may be coming from input. Get password, I mean phone number. I'm trying to apply, I mean update only one attribute. Depending on your requirement, you can update it. Same user saved user dot set username, set password, set email, whatever it. Of course, email once the sign up is done, we can't update email. So, but remaining properties, name, phone number, password, these kind of things we can update. So, if the user is, I mean empty, I mean user does not exist with corresponding user ID, I will throw again same. Some meaningful message like user does not exist. User, I mean it maybe does not or not exist. User not exist with corresponding user ID, something whatever we can provide. So get user also same. I mean first I will anyway, here I am performing user object, I mean operation user is exist or not, right? Same like that. So same filter, if the user is there, I mean with the, here I need to remove, I mean here I am trying to pass only user ID, right? I mean individual value user ID. So here it is saying some wrap with a nullable optional. Mismatch cannot convert from stream of user to optional of user. 1 minute. So let me try to remove this. Now let me try to assign again one more time. So stream of user. So I didn't apply find first, that's why I got that. So first after once that conditional check is done, I mean filtering is done, then I am trying to get it. Now it is valid. So if it is present, get user, then return it. So instead of doing this logic is for update, just return optional user dot get. So now it will return user object like this. From database or here from collections, I am trying to return. Otherwise, same user does not exist with corresponding your whatever you provided user ID, right? Same that value I can pass here. Delete also same. Let me try to copy. So but in real time when you are trying to write in real time project, this logics may be vary, but I am trying to explain about basics. So if the delete user, for deleting also first there must be user exist, then only we can delete, otherwise we can't delete, right? So first I am trying to check if the user is there, then I am trying to delete it. Here inside it, inside this if block, if user is there, then only I am trying to delete users dot delete. Remove, there is no method in collections. Delete, remove object. So what is the object? This one, dot get. I can assign to a variable. We try to, so here is compilation error, that's why I did not get a suggestion. Anyway, I can user saved user, this one I am trying to delete it. Saved user, this user I am trying to remove. So now perfectly valid. Even delete also, so it does not exist same. Here I can provide at the time of getting to differentiate. I mean get user or delete at the time of, I can say some separator, get user does not exist at the time of delete, at the time of delete. So now I implemented four methods for I mean abstraction by using interface. So this is the interface, only specifications: save, update, get, delete. So how to save, how to update, that implementation functionality will be there in class. So here I am trying to perform some operations. Now let me try to test it. So for this I am trying to write the code here. Let me try to write main method. So first let me try to create object for user class, user, new user. So I will pass variables like values like user ID is 1, and what are the parameters? ID, name, password, email, phone number. ID, name, email, email, password, phone number. So this is one object, one user object. Let me try to create more than one, then save user 1, user 2. So I will update the user ID and I will update name also. So I will update phone number as well, some random data. So these are the user. Let me try to save. So for saving, that method exists inside user service mpl, right? Moreover that save user is instance method. How to create, how to call instance method? By using object reference for corresponding class. So save user exists inside user service mpl. This class I need to create object. Now user service mpl, same method name. So this is real time project standards. So first I am trying to create object by using new keyword. Here I need to use new for implementation class object. Now I will call corresponding methods. Dot save user 1 or user 2. First I am trying to save user 1, assign to a variable saved user, and again call one more same. I mean, let me try to copy this one, user 2, user 1, save user, maybe saved user result, saved user result 1. I mean I can say saved user message msc, message 1 or message 2. Now let me try to print that what are the messages. You got it. So copy it, paste, and print that message here. So we will get user is saved successfully, user is saved successfully two times. Now let me try to run. See here, user saved successfully, user saved successfully. I want to check, I mean user is exist or not, how many users are there. Now for that, what is the method? I mean I need to call, I mean get user, if my user is there or not. Once save is done, let me try to apply, I mean get method. So this is called save user, then get user. How to call get method? By using this object reference only. Dot get, we need to pass user id. Let me try to pass user, I mean as 2. Now let me try to assign to a variable and print that user object. So if user exists, it will print it, otherwise we will get exception. Let me show you. First run with successful scenario, I mean valid scenario, I mean positive scenario, user is there. Let me try to pass 20. Now we will get exception. So runtime exception, at the time of getting user does not exist with id 20. We are getting, I mean expected scenario only, right? Next we need to test update user or not, I mean updated functionality, update user functionality. So update user, here I can write update user. So update method also I can call user service sample object reference only dot update user. So which user I need to update, I need to pass user object with user id, right? So second user I am trying to update only phone number, I mean attribute. So user 2 dot set phone number, trying to update, I mean instead of last four digits I'm trying to update. So 5435 I'm trying to update like 6675. So I'm trying to pass this object user 2. So once it is updated, we will get some message. So that message I will print it. So update user. So once it is updated, let me try to check before and after. And again I am trying to print that user 2 object only. Once it is updated, let me try to check that phone number is actually updated or not. User 2. Now let me try to run. So our expected functionality is message is updated successfully, I mean updated user and more that updated user object. Let me try to run. At the time of get user does not exist, line number 34. Why? Because here 20, right? That's why here itself we are getting user does not exist, line number 30. So here once it is updated, I am not returning any I mean message, right? That's why it jump into next statement. Once it is not written, so it is throwing 31 line number. So instead of that, first we need to return. This is typo error, I mean wrong logic. First we need to return. Once updation is done, return updated successfully. So ends with a semicolon. Now I will get proper response. So updated successfully. Previous phone number is 5435. Updated phone number is 6675. Updated functionality also working as expected. Next one is deleted. I mean delete functionality. User service IMPL same. I will call user service sample object reference only. Delete user. Delete user. So user service MPL dot delete user. Delete user, we need to pass user ID. Like I'm trying to delete user 2. Once deleted, again I will get message. Let me try to print out that message. So again here also I think I am getting same issue. Why? Because here I did not handle the return message, right? That's why it jump into immediately 51. So we need to return it. I mean that corresponding message. Then only it won't jump into 51. So if the user is not there, then only jump into 51. If user is there, then it will jump into inside a block and corresponding logic will be executed. Then it will be written. So deleted successfully. Now let me try to run. Next, I mean in this case we will get any, I mean we won't get any exception. So deleted successfully. So with this I covered, I mean all four operations, I mean abstraction with interface: save, update, delete, get. So this is the my interface name. I mean think like this is the question paper. Questions, all questions, save user, update user, get user, delete user. So how to save, how to update, how to get, delete, that all these will be implemented in, implemented class. These are things like answers for the corresponding questions. So I am testing inside separate class. So I hope you got full clarity what is abstraction with the interface. In coming video, I will explain abstraction with abstract class. So if you like the content, hit on like button and subscribe Programming KT. Thanks for watching.